Intro. Let me start the intro. I should have started with that. How I'm gonna do less of what I think people want to hear and more of what's actually going on in my daily life. Because I'm not a vlogger or anything like that. I'm trying to put value into why I want you to come and invest money into a show. I'm trying to show you why I feel like it's worth it. And the only way to do that is to show you a part of me. Like I'm not that person that's big and has a name for himself. No, I'm developing that. And I see there are multiple ways to do that. I've seen people be very successful from their podcasts, from, you know what I'm saying, little internet memes or whatever, and go right into comedy and have a very nice following ahead of really getting their set together. I'm doing both. Like I don't have a lot of time. I'm almost 40 years old. If you can't tell, like I just recently had a birthday a couple of weeks ago. I turned 38. I need to because that's a big deal. I know a lot of my friends didn't make it to this age, and yeah, now I really feel like I'm an OG. Like I know I've been old, but now I feel it. Like I feel like I'm an OG when I have like people born in 2020 are now like not 2020, I'm sorry, 2000s are now like 20 years old. And I'm like, dude, what the hell? Where did the time go? Like, I actually remember what was going on in the 2000s. I was in middle school. And I'd be like, yo, what's up, OG? Wow. All right. You know? So, the people born in the 90s are 30 now. Like, I'm just, I'm, it is what it is, man. I feel old, but I'm happy that I made it, and I'm not going to take that away from anything. It's a lot of people who don't get the chance to say that, man, and it's a proud moment for me to make it to 38. Like I have a lot of life and a lot of story to tell. I probably won't be doing much stories. I tried that for a little bit, and it didn't really pan out the way that I wanted it to, the way that I thought it would, which is okay. Like one thing about this is I'm just doing this to highlight the art. This isn't the art. If you want to see the art in which I've drawn from my life experiences, me being a father, like anything, you can come to a show or even come visit me at an open mic. Like you can see how I'm putting my life into art and you can actually learn and see like, yo, I actually like Jamal the person and how he's taken the hardships of his life and made it art for us. Like, okay, cool. It's a lesson in that. And that's when I really started to appreciate the art form of comedy. It's like, how can you make a lesson funny? Like, I hated school, and this is how I currently look at comedy. I hated school. I didn't like to learn the traditional lessons of reading a book, but you make something entertaining for me, it's easier to learn that lesson. And I got a lot of stuff to say, even when it comes to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just my upbringing. Like, I'm a pastor kid who, from being a pastor kid, has been able to travel the world and done numerous of things. How I paint the picture for you guys who haven't been able to experience those things, or haven't lived the life of a pastor kid, or haven't lived the life of dealing with multiple women, like baby moms and stuff like that. Like how it is to raise a kid and have multiple women that you have to deal with. How do I make that funny in an art form and teach you why you should not do this thing or why you should do this thing? That's the beauty of the comedy arts. Like the lessons there, and you can actually learn something, and you'll laugh at me when I'm explaining this to you, but you'll go home and research it and be like, yo, this dude actually was on something. Like that is when you're doing real art, and that's when people are really finding out like, yo, okay, this guy might have some seriousness. You know what I'm saying? I'm currently about to enter into my second year, and I'm extremely grateful to even be able to be, I'm not relevant, but I've been allowed to grow. What I mean is, I haven't been booked for a lot of shows. I haven't been, seen everywhere. I haven't done anything. I've actually been a student for the last year, 2 years, just a student of the business, student of the arts, student of timing, student of when to project your voice, when to hold back. I've had to study for the last 2 years. And now I'm starting to put, and it like this is how long it takes and how much growth you have to have in order to be proficient if you're serious about comedy. Like I got people younger than me teaching me about comedy because they've already seen the things that need to be seen. So I just I enjoyed being a student for the past 2 years. Like I've learned from the local greats here that may not get on the big stages that you know I aspire to be on, but they're on big stages now. And to take 8 years of experience, 20 years of experience, 10 years of experience, to take any bits and pieces that they're willing to offer and them see you execute it, they're willing to give you more information, more feedback, more. And that's what I've had to do for the past, you know, 2 years essentially, because March is right around the corner. So super grateful, man, for all the people who have been positive influences in my comedy, in the 757, or like, some, even some from the 804. Like it didn't matter. If they saw something in me, they would pour it in me, even if it was negative. Like I had a dude embarrass me at a comedy show. And one thing I'm super glad about is I learned how to purge my emotions, because I could have got emotional and wanted to reply back to him on stage. But what he said was very true. He was like, hey, man, look, you need to go work. Like, and that was it. That was all he said. He didn't, you know, put me down. My set was, I'm going to be honest with you, most of my set in the past, before I really started to appreciate the art, my sets have been pretty ass. Like, you can look down below and you'll see some of them. Listen, some of them, yeah, you made the crowd laugh. You touched the crowd. So, that's, but some of the jokes is just like, but the time that was allotted for me to continue doing reps and continue to get better, like I know that this year I'm gonna be putting full throttle. Like, yo, I've got to get better on all aspects. I've got to get better. I've got to have better delivery, timing. Everything has to get better, and that's part of the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing now. I've opened up 2 rooms, and you've got to be able to study and be able to hone your craft so that your joke can hit in this room and that room and that room and that room, and you know how to instantly deliver it. But I practice my workshop is currently it's at the Creek on Mondays. If y'all want to see me, I'm hosting that. It's a fun spot to do. It's a real fun spot to do. A lot of energy, man. A lot of people really coming to see comedy, and that's important, and that's really something that I enjoy, is that people come to see comedy even on an open mic. So open mic is usually where people would go and rehearse and practice their stuff, for those of you who don't know. But this open mic, like, it has potential. And you know what I'm saying, even with, what was it, Valentine's Day just passed, so I didn't have a major turnout last Monday, but people coming out, like the restaurant willing to work with me and give us a wing special. So they're giving a pound and a half of wings for $10. Yo, that's like 12, 13 wings for $10. Not really a bad deal during these times. They also have drink specials that are going to vary. I think right now they've got what is it? I don't drink, so I don't really know like the terms of drinking, but I think it's like a mixed drink or something. It's like I want to say mojito, but that's not it. I think it's like I don't know. I don't know, man. But they got them, and it's $5. So they will have different drink specials, and all that will be listed before you even walk through the door. So, and even tomorrow, I'll be at that same place doing. I'm gonna be DJing for. Well, I'll just be operating the music for the guy that's coming. He's doing a show, man, for Boom Productions, and I'll be doing that too. Like, I just warm the crowd up. Like, that's another thing. Is so many levels in comedy. Like, you don't have to be the comedian on the stage that night that's on the showcase. You could be the person that's just being a hype man, and in that there's lessons. So that's what I'm essentially doing. I'm warming the crowd up, getting them loose, getting them ready for comedy, and then we start the show and we knocking it out the park. Like, I'm out of there. That's all I have to do. So yeah, definitely looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. Yeah, we got some stuff. I got some stuff that I'm really working towards. Like, I don't have a lot of shows. I'm not even looking to get booked for a lot of shows. I'd rather focus on getting better. And I think that kind of showed, man. I was on a showcase where, man, I didn't even know it was a church setting. It was I didn't know, and I'm getting real bad with recording my sets. I'm going to get better because I feel like it's important for me to do so. Um But yeah, nah, I did not know it was a church set, so I literally had to come up with stuff on the fly. Easy thing is, being that I'm actually creating the art now from my real life, I just told some stories and added a little fluff to them. Well, actually, really, they didn't need them. Like, there's a story that I have with, what I'm saying, me getting baptized at the church and the pastor trying to drown me. Let it be known, like, the pastor's my dad. Like, little stuff like that, just dropping little jewels, and the people were like, they were laughing because it's like you're not belittling their pastor. It's like, yeah, some church people like that. I'm so glad I got my pastor. And then me and the pastor had a little back and forth while I was on stage because, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's like, it's everybody wants the pastor to win, and he was already charismatic, so it was easy. And I just like threw him the alley oop, and he dunked it. So it was like, this was a really good show, and I really wish I had recorded it because it was so smooth. And I just realized like recording is probably going to be the best way to get my messages out there, get my talent, let people see what my talent and what I'm capable of doing. Yeah, and just like so people who are actually following me can see my growth, because I feel like everybody wants a follower, but nobody wants a friend. Like I tell people when, hey, look, subscribe to my channel, help me grow, and you become a part of my journey and my growth. Help me grow. Like I can't get any further without the supporters or people saying that, hey, this guy is good. So even by you uttering those words, it helps me. That's support. That's something that you and I can both benefit from, because if I make it, hey man, look, hey, I've been a day one supporter. Oh, okay, cool. Let me get you some tickets for tonight. You don't got to spend no money because you've done that before. You following me, your likes, all of that stuff, your time that you spend streaming. Cool. Let me get you some tickets. Like I already know I'm gonna be one that gives back, because a lot of people don't. Like a lot of people will, oh yeah, I'm the man now. No, I'm not. I'm not nothing without you. Without supporters, you're nothing. And I try to tell everybody that. So that all I'm doing right now on this journey of year 2 is gaining the supporters that I need to help me grow. Like Josh Johnson has a gazillion videos, and he has 3 times the amount of followers because he's that proficient in the art, and he's really good. He takes his time, he delivers, he's writing. It's a fresh set every time. Like every time that I see he posted another video, a whole new set. He's talking about something that's going on, make it funny. That's like an elite level of comedy. Like, yo, okay, cool. I don't have a set, but I do have a set for life. Like that's the beauty of the art, man. So I respect, like, I think he's one that I really watch out for as far as the art forms go. Cause it's like, yo, this dude, I mean, yes, he's built the fan base, and you've got people that really want to see you. And no matter what, even if it's like a mid joke, it's a roaring laugh from people that love him. And I'm not one to judge or calibrate what's a mid joke. I think he's funny. I think the way he tells a story, and the way he reiterates the news, and how he sets up his punches, and I think he's funny. I don't have anything negative to say about him, but like, to people that if I were to say something, that some of the things that he said, it would probably be mid. But because of his facial expressions, his delivery, his calmness, his poise, like I'm learning a lot just by watching him. And I'd say the same with the guy that I follow and I work with him locally, man. He runs the Joker Day podcast, and he runs the Joker Day. I've literally watched this man for over a year, how he runs the room, how he delivers jokes, how he is with the fans that come in there, how he is with the comedians. I've studied this man for a year in close proximity, and I learned so much. And then to finally get a thorough compliment from somebody like him, like, hey man, look, if you do this, I guarantee you'll get a better reception from everything that you do. Like when he saw me finally put everything together, from lessons that I had to learn from him, lessons that I had to learn on my own, and like it's just one of those compliments, you know what I'm saying? Like kind of like when Mr. Miyagi, after he had him do all the chores and he showed him what the reason of the chores were, like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's what I felt, and it was good to have that type of energy, because when I started off, I'm not gonna lie, when I started off in comedy, it was just negative energy. It was, oh, this person isn't this person isn't this, and the person that I'm listening to now, or like shadowing and following, has never said a negative thing about anybody around him, not even just comedians, just anybody. And it was like, yo, I don't have time for negativity, and he has a very monotone look, like I just don't have time. I don't have time for negativity. And I'm just like, I can see that. Like, the more he focuses on anything outside of his craft, he's losing. And I'm like, yo, if I had that level of focus, and guess what? I started to develop that level of focus. It's him. It's another guy, David Griffith. Like, these two guys are just, hey, it's only about the comedy. If it ain't funny, it ain't for me. If it ain't funny, it ain't for me. That's it. Like that's what I see from them. That's not a quote that they use. So if I use it, that's on me. That's my shit. If it ain't funny, it ain't for me. That's just it. If it ain't funny, it ain't for me. And I love that. I think that's gonna be my slogan. If it ain't funny, it ain't for me. And that's true on every aspect. Like if I can't make something funny, like it's not for me. Yeah. But they have a podcast, and I've been watching their podcast for the past year as well. And they are like he's editing pristine cuts, images, like everything is just flowing well. And I'm like, dang man, it's like this dude don't miss. He don't miss. So yeah, I